Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
And before you get into the comments about Robbe having low energy or anything like that, Robbe, what's going on?
Well, we're here in California, and we just did the Broken Arrow 11K at Lake Tahoe-ish area, I guess.
Palisades.
Yeah.
Olympic Village.
I don't know where we are. Business must go on. The shoe reviews must go on.
We're going to be out of the studio for at least a week out here.
Yeah.
And Robbe, you've got like a cold or something?
I don't even know what I got, dude. It's a lot of things.
But anyway, that's our disclaimer about Robbe, because otherwise, Robbe, I have to pump him up with sugar and all this stuff, and nobody wants that.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. We're talking about the Puma
Deviate
Nitro
Elite
3.
Wow, we got it.
Yeah, we did. It's written on the shoe here.
Yeah, all right.
What do you think of the big words before we get into it? What do you think of the big branding? Because
I actually like it a lot.
I know.
I'm not super into it usually. I guess it just depends. I think it looks good. It looks fast.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like a race car. Like it's like a Formula One.
Put a Quaker State logo on there too.
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we get into this. It's a slight different shoe than the Deviate. While the colors look similar, the ingredients are completely different.
Yeah, so this is the premium race day shoe from Puma, although there are two, and I'm not sure why. There's the Puma Fast R/Fast R2, and then there's this shoe. Why both exist at the same time, I'm not sure.
The reason they gave me is they test out different athletes, and they found that some are more efficient in one shoe than the other. However, it seems like the athletes are leaning towards this one. Let's start with the upper, Robbe. Are we looking at a monomesh?
Oh yeah, the mono and the mesh come together to form a lightweight and breathable upper, and it is lightweight and breathable.
It is, and that power tape comes in to help, give it a little more structure where you need it. Basic lacing, and this tongue. Does the tongue remind you of anybody else's tongue?
I'm not sure.
To me, it's very similar. If you've seen the New Balance SE Elite V4, very similar tongue. It's almost got that felt feel. This one might be a little more substantial.
Not a big fan of the laces here.
It's spongy.
Spongy, kind of, I guess, stretchy. I'd rather just use the sawtooth laces.
I mean, at this point, that's like, for race day, that's what I want.
But it's okay, it worked. I thought the lockdown was pretty solid, especially through the midfoot. Maybe a little bit of room in the toe box, or maybe, I don't know. But I think otherwise, like a little bit long, maybe.
See, that's the thing. Both you and Megan thought that it ran a little bit long, but it's not like you would size up.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Or size down.
Or size down, right.
It still fits pretty well through here.
Yeah.
I found the length to be perfect. I thought it was great, but I do have to say, you and Megan both made a comment about it running a little bit long.
But otherwise, yeah, I felt that it was really nice fitting, and all in all, pretty well done.
Heel counter is real nice too. I like it has enough structure without being overbuilt or feeling like it's gonna weigh the shoe down. So I got a nice fit in here as well. Breathability was great. The laces, they're spongy and they feel a little slippery. That's the thing that I thought was weird about them, was like, it almost has like a hard to tie thing, because it's not like,
Too floppy.
Yeah.
Too floppy.
But I do think they stretch a little bit, so once they're tied, it stayed fine. I did not end up using the runner's loop and got a good fit. So let's get into some aliphatic TPU. What does that mean?
So aliphatic TPU is different than a regular TPU in that it is, I'd say, more durable. It's more resistant to impact. And this isn't a Puma pitch, by the way. This is like the actual product
definition.
Yeah. And it also offers more flexibility than typical TPU. Now Puma says that the previous version of the Elites had the supercritical that they were using in that, the Nitro foam, was an 83% energy return rate. This is supposedly 93%.
That's a lot. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, I know, and of course, I'm assuming that's in-house calculations, but either way, it is bouncier. It also is, by the way, 4 millimeters more of cushions. So it goes to that whole 40 millimeters in the heel and 32 millimeters in the forefoot.
Math.
8 millimeter drop.
When I compare this to some of the other shoes that are using Puma, I don't know if it's the shape of the plate or what, but I felt like there was a little more explosiveness off the toe. but it might also just be me being like
You're
weird.
saying more explosiveness off the toe in this shoe or in other shoes?
In some of the Puma shoes.
Yeah, and they've even said like Puma is the highest standard basically for race day shoes. This is kind of like the B tier of, but it's pretty close, I would say, in a lot of ways.
It like to the average person, I don't think they're going to notice the difference between this and a Puma foam. The one thing that I did notice a lot in this was the shape and the geometry of the foam coming through. It does have a nice roll off the toe. I did feel it's a little more aggressive feeling, like behind the fat pad here. You got to throw that in, right?
Got to.
And so it comes through. It does have a nice feel underfoot. I like it. It's maybe not quite as bouncy. So somebody who wants a less mushy shoe, maybe a shoe that's got a little more firmness to it. This one I felt kind of like it fit that.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little bit I felt like it was a little bit unstable to me. It gets pretty thin here in the middle.
In the throat?
Yeah, I felt like my ankles after running like a 12-mile long run in it were a little bit like sore maybe. For whatever reason, the bottoms of my feet were somewhat sore.
Like a heat?
Yeah, and I was running like a workout in the middle of a long run, so it really like put it through, from marathon paces down to 10K paces, and I really did enjoy the way that it felt on the run. I had one run in it that was just kind of throwaway. I was first day in Florida and it was bad, but the long run that I did, it picked up really nicely.
Yeah, and your paces look great.
Yeah, I hit everything with ease, I should say, and so overall, I do really like this shoe a lot.
Yeah, and I do like the way the plate, you can kind of see where the sandwich happens. That kind of usually indicates where the plate's going.
Yeah.
I like that it's a little further away from the foot in the front to give you that space. And I believe that the power plate is more stiff or is stiffened up a little bit. So you're getting a little more like, energy return coming up.
I don't know why that shocked me, but it did for some reason.
You got scared.
I think it's a way better shoe than the first two versions.
That's the thing. This is even, like, I wouldn't even consider the first two versions in our race day category. Like, it didn't fall in the top tier. It didn't fall in the second tier. It fell in, like, the third tier. Like, there was some super trainers from other brands that I felt like competed with the Deviate Nitro Elite up until now.
Right.
This one comes in, and I think there's a few things that have to do that. Before we get to that, let's just talk and give some praise to their best rubber compound, the PumaGrip.
PumaGrip can't be beat. Best rubber on the market. I don't even care. You can throw name brands on there. PumaGrip is always solid, always grippy, feels great underfoot.
And this is where I really think it gets an added boost. Like when we're talking about that toe off and coming down, this thing feels like it has teeth. For me, this would I'd almost like it for like shorter distances too, because of that like really intense.
And we didn't talk about the weight, by the way, which is kind of a key to the shoe.
Well, this is where I really think it sets us apart from its predecessors. You've got more foam, a higher stack, and the shoe weighs less. It's 7.7 ounces or 219 grams.
Yeah, so it lost 15 grams over the last version, which, you're getting that extra foam, still losing weight. It's pretty awesome.
But if you even compare that to the other shoes in the category, like we love some shoes now for race day that are 8.5 ounces, so weight really does matter in long distance, and so them dropping the weight down under 8 ounces for this shoe, I think is a big win for Puma.
Yeah, and then you have the price on it, by the way, is $230, which is
spend that extra $20 on laces.
Yeah, there you go. Get those lock laces, get some boa dials on here. But I would say as far as value to performance, I think it's right there. It's really nice. It looks amazing. It's going to look awesome on race day. Red light, green light?
I'm going to give this a green light, and I'm also going to say where I think it falls into like our section of race day shoes. The weight is going to knock it up a little bit above some of those that are at that 8.5 ounces for me, because the foam feels good enough, the fit is good, everything's like dialed in on this shoe. I think they can still make some improvements, but I think they did a really good job with it. And so I'm going to knock it up at least in our second tier of race day shoes, if not a first choice shoe for some people.
Yeah, it's a great shoe. I think they did a really good job with it. And again, the training options are equally awesome. So Puma's doing some cool stuff. and we're gonna see the shoe in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool, and hopefully it does well. Hopefully it brings home another medal. We'll see.
That would be great, USA.
All right, thanks for watching and enduring whatever's happening here.
Well, I feel like they're getting a double value today. You're getting a shoe review and the relaxing outdoors.
Yeah, so. And me in the throes of my illness and whatever it is.
So do Robbie a favor. If you want to make him feel better, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share this review with friends, and check out the podcasts. We've got The Drop, we've got Fuel for the Soul. All of it's in the description, and I'm sure you can even find a link to this shoe in the description.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Stay elite.